chocolate! I don't believe it. Look at him. He's even meaner looking than the last one.
What's up, YouTube? It's the reverse flow. And that man, Super Buu, after he ate Fat Buu, he had a mean sugar rush. But, anyways, this figure, just to get right into it, this figure, it's a lot to talk about. Definitely a lot to talk about. First thing first, we're going to start with the, of course, the overall look of the figure, meaning the sculpt, the paint work, and then we're going to get into articulation, and then for the next segment, we're going to get into the accessories. As far as the overall look of the figure, he's arguably the most screen-accurate figure in the line, in the S.H Figuarts Dragon Ball line, yet. There's some contenders that are arguable, that you could say is better. But I think overall this might be the best one. And I know I said something a little different in one of my past reviews. You guys will have to check that out. But yeah, overall it looks fantastic. I don't think there's much better that they could have did in terms of pure aesthetic to the figure. Maybe there's some engineering things that they could have done differently. But overall aesthetic, on point. So with that said, let's run through the articulation real quick. First things first, and also let's actually before we get into we go over. I was gonna say let's get into paint, but we'll do that as we go through the articulation. Overall on the figure. Now we got the face is painted very cleanly. And as you can see, his face, the way his face is built, he got that.
And the neck is one egg boy?
But, the black dots, like his little steam holes, are painted cleanly. On his belt, painted cleanly. The gold is painted cleanly. If you see something that looks kind of chipped on mine, that's because I had this figure for a little while now, so that's why. But, articulation. His head, without moving that bottom neck joint, it moves a little bit. It moves up nicely. Very nicely, actually. But moving down, not that good. Now, that's why we have this extra joint here. I think it's a ball joint here. This helps him. He could basically bury his face into his chest. I was going to say his chin, but his head and neck is basically one thing. Because of his character design. But, yeah, that works very nicely. Side to side, you could give him that creepy, cocky thing that he does with his head. Swivel. Turn his head 360 if you want to. He's a bubblegum demon, so you might actually want to take a picture like that. But, let's say, arms. Swivel at the top of the bicep. Double jointed elbow. He got a hinge at his wrist, but the gauntlets, because of the character design, they get in the way a little bit. Diaphragm joint or core articulation. This top ball peg, I think it's supposed to be. It works. It actually works pretty nicely. Now, what you do, you get a little of that gappage back there. So when you're taking your pictures, you know to avoid that. Now this lower abdomen part, It's okay. It works fine. I think most of your movement is coming from this top joint up here. Or actually, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I think it's mostly coming. Like you could kind of actually see in there a little bit. I think that hinge. Maybe it's the hinge joint doing most of the work. Actually, but the moving on to the legs. Oh yeah, you get a swivel too, because you don't get a waist cut down here. Which I'm happy they put it up here because it doesn't break the sculpt when you want to turn them. Hips do the splits perfectly, and we're gonna actually talk about that in comparison with some other figures later. But splits perfectly, kicks up all the way, kicks back all the way, swivel at the top of the thigh, double jointed knee, but it only goes about to 90 because the pants are so poofy. I mean, they could have cut more of this back here, but I'm happy they didn't. I like the pants to be poofy as possible. That's my preference, but y'all might have a different preference. He has an ankle hinge. He got a toe hinge. Now he can move his foot up down a little bit and up a little bit because you know the character design got these things around his ankle, so it's gonna be hard to. It would have been hard to engineer that, but overall the articulation is on point. I can't complain at all. Overall, look at the figure is nice. I just wish that, of course, he could bend his knees a little bit more. But other than that, yeah, it's all great. I'll say articulation, solid 8 out of 10. Stay tuned for the next segment. Next, we move on to accessories. But before we go on to that, I want to show y'all something real quick with the hips that I was talking about earlier. So what they've done with the hips is really what the 3.0 body should have been. So if you guys don't know what the 3.0 body includes, with the Goku, I'll show you the 2.0 first. Ultra Instinct Goku. You see how the hips look and the pelvis looks? That's the 2.0 body. This is the 3.0 body. Now the 3.0 body could do the splits perfectly fine. And why is that? As opposed to the 2.0 body? It's because on the 2.0 body, I want y'all to see something, and then we're going to look at the Buu figure. You see this plastic right here? When you try to pull the leg up, that plastic clashes with this plastic up here. So what they should have did is make this plastic right here cut a little lower like it is on the Super Buu figure. You see, it's basically the same design as the 2.0 body, but they cut the plastic lower. So now when you split the legs, this plastic up here isn't bumping into the plastic up here. And that's how they should have did the 3.0 body. Because now the weakness of the 3.0 body is he can do the splits, but if you try to bring his leg back, you can't bring his leg back because they sculpted like cheeks right here. So you know I think that was a faux pas on their part because really they had the 3.0 legs right here. All they had to do is bring this plastic right here down some, cut it down some, like they did with the Super Buu figure. And it would have been good money. But with that aside, we're gonna talk about the accessories. Where am I? Oh, there we go. He comes with the 2 fist hands that come with him in the packaging. He comes with the 2 open palm kind of relaxed hands, 2 open palm blast hands, 1 kind of hand that's like saying "come here," and a pointing finger. That's it for the hands. He comes with 3 heads. He comes with the creepy smile face. He comes with the with a mean mug face. And last but not least, he comes with a Fat Buu face. And I show y'all a demonstration with Fat Buu.
If I had one! Sorry.
But that's it for the accessories. In terms of accessories, it's pretty good for him. Maybe we could have got a blast effect. Maybe we could have got that iconic pose because you have that pose where Boo got his arm out with the thumb down. That would have been a nice accessory to have. Maybe a head for another extra head where he's shooting the beam out of his antenna, like when he turned Chi Chi into an egg. But besides that, overall, this figure, I would say, it might be I know I said Cooler was the best before, the best Dragon Ball S.H Figuarts, but this one might be the best. Even like the subtle shading that they got on the pants, it works great. It brings out the sculpt. It's hard to see on camera, but trust me, it's there. There's a subtle gray shading. I just wish they did that with the rest of the body. And that's where I think the Cooler figure is a bit superior in terms of paint. But in terms of likeness and the seamlessness of the joints, especially this abdomen, y'all get what I'm trying to say. The core area, it's really good. I would say 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10. This is a great figure. Now stay tuned for pictures at the end, because I will have pictures at the end. Until then, have a blessed day. The Verse Flow out.